So how are things holding up beyond the brave? So make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more content. So we actually kind of get to dive back into the OCG side of the meta here and actually take a look at, how is Beyond the Brave doing, but also at the same time, with all of these new tools, Revolution Booster is still pretty much in the driver's seat controlling this format, which does kind of cause some problems in my opinion. Now, S tier, which is the absolute pinnacle of things here, is going to be Toons and Elf Note. Honestly, it's pretty crazy to see that, Elf Note has kind of climbed back up to the top here. And I think a lot of this honestly has to do with kind of the Ars Magna buildup, because Ars Magna just gave all of the lore decks way more gas to be able to kind of combo up with. And I think that a lot of people didn't really expect that. Now, A tier, we still have Cool Toons. We actually have Witchcrafter, and we actually have the Power Patron build of the deck itself, which is honestly kind of impressive. Witchcrafter being the second Revolution Booster deck that has just, when this pile goes, it feels like it is pretty much an unstoppable monster. Now, B tier, we actually have Mitsurugi still absolutely crushing it in the OCG. It's crazy because, they still have so much technology for this deck. Sky Striker's still in B. We have the Go 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 rank 4 Turbo Spam still doing very well. And we also have Umbral Horror coming in a B tier. I mean, Umbral Horror now has a floodgate to limit, the amount of special summons of non-number monsters to 2 from the extra deck. Which is kind of funny. Now, C tier, we do get to see Unchained, which is the third Revolution Booster deck. Mind Shuffle has been falling. It's now down here with Albaz. Doom Z still down here. We have Trains, Magnet Warriors, Yummy, and Blitzclick, which are some pretty normal household names. We also do see Malice in D tier. We get to see the new Water deck, Lunalights, the Clowns. We have the Labyrinth strategy also still doing very well. Ashutra, Adamancipator, which, to be fair, Block Dragon still gets an award for being Block Dragon. And we still get to see the power of good old Mind Master kind of walking around here. Keep in mind, OCG did get an errata on Mind Master that kind of made this card a little bit better than it previously was, which I feel like has kind of helped this deck out a lot in terms of consistency upgrades. But as you can see here, everything, it's starting to look like a new meta, though Toons doing some crazy things is good. We do get to see the lore re-shifting around here with Elf Notes kind of taking the driver's seat, but this is still within the realm of what I would consider would be expectations for this meta. And honestly, I'm not really surprised. Let's go take a look at some of these lists. I actually pulled up some tournament data over the last couple of weekends here. And this is actually a Rizal list that has been doing pretty consistently in the OCG. Basically, the Rizal package is as minimalistic as you need it to be because you don't really want to bulk down on this too much. And your extra deck's just kind of good coverage to kind of cover through your matchups, which is kind of nice. You get access into the Ophion depending on how you actually open up, which is insane. The Toon Terror for the end board is really, really great. And then, of course, your side deck is just amazing good coverage to make sure that, any problems that the meta is going to give you, you'll be able to look at and cover. Look at Vitos, look at Mind Crush. You also have access to the Solemns down here. You even have Anti-Scam Fragrance in this list, man. If you really think that there's going to be any real issues that you need to kind of pivot into to be able to generically clean up, I think this deck has enough tool set to be able to cover things. Now, obviously, you're going to see the Power Patron piles. The Power Patron decks are just kind of, you get access to every good big boss monster just to kind of be able to smash face with, which is already kind of crazy that, if you just get access to the 3 Power Patrons, you've got 9k damage spread across the field, and it just allows you to get into your opponent's face and just kind of win the game from there. That's not necessarily healthy for the game, but it's definitely something that has, I think, long-term helped this deck out, because on the bare minimum, you can just do the scary, ha-ha, funny FTK, and honestly, that's all you really need to be able to get the job done with, which is probably more than you kind of expect. But outside of that, the way that this deck has been getting functionally better, especially with like the tools to kind of clear out the game. Yeah, also, Goemon, the world's greatest thief, is extremely broken. Next up here, we get to see, boy, my other favorite deck in the room, Elf Note. You know the fact that Elf Note, you can extend out like the Ars Magna stuff and basically unlock an entirely new subsection of this deck. It's kind of crazy, but for this one, we're doing the Infernal Strike Fighter. We are doing the Dragon Mech. You know, they also get to end on Baron de Fleur as an end board piece, which is something that the TCG doesn't necessarily have access to. If we had access to that, I think it would help out a little bit more. Also, down here in the side deck, they're side decking the triple of the Extender Trap card, and we have the Starjunk Synchron in the extra or the side deck for us to be able to bring in. So the fact that this deck can pivot into I need a more aggressive synchro approach going first, and you just get access to that, that's awesome. I actually like that a lot. Next up here, we get to see Sky Striker. Well, Sky Striker, the fact that the OCG gets to do the Eldom play and actually, you know, make full use of the Radiant Typhoon package is actually really, really good. It ensures that the deck gets way more consistency off of the ground and actually helps out. Also, they're playing one copy of Pot of Desires. Meanwhile, you know, you have 2 Pot of Sloth in the side deck for more of your coverage, which is actually kind of nice. We do see the Solemn Accusation. We also see Pinkertops in this list as well. I feel like Pinkertops is not something that I get to see as much anymore because, honestly, he kind of just feels bad. He doesn't really feel like he gets a lot of that generational value that he used to. But outside that, I mean, I personally feel like the Sky Striker deck is very, very simplistic. You know, there's not a lot that we have to do to make a Sky Striker deck look insanely impressive in this current era. Next up, we get to see, good old Yummy. Funny enough with this list, we are playing the Jester Confident here because it is a level 1 that actually, I believe, can extend out of the hand. It's been a little while. Also, triple Gravity Collapse, or 2 Gravity Collapse, the triple Spatial Trunade to be able to bounce things back away from the opponent is also insanely good. That card has really turned into an amazing side deck option that so many players are looking at right now. And I don't really blame people for it, right? Because getting 2 spot removal options, forcing them back, or, you know, forcing 2 back into the opponent's hand and then forcing the opponent to return them back to the deck, that is not a good situation that you want to find yourself in. But it does help out very, very nicely with the deck. That's why I said, you know, if you leave 2 monsters on the field, your opponent slams that, you know, you go 2 back and then it shuffles back. It's so bad. Next up, we have Cool Tune. Now, Cool Tune, this deck, ever since, you know, the idea has been, all right, so we lost 2 Rotary, play 2 of the Deep Eyes Searcher, call it a day. You effectively do the exact same thing that the deck did before, and you're still exploiting the same... It's not like the same level of consistency you had. You're still playing 3 copies of Rotary. It's just now your opponent can trade an Ash Blossom for a Rotary effectively, and it feels a little bit better. Also, the Cool Tune Synchros being at 2 also has kind of helped mitigate a little bit of that consistency. Like this deck, truthfully, got one of the biggest slaps on the wrist when it came to the last little block of push through that Konami was trying to do with it. And I get it. I do. You know, it was make Cool Tune feel a little bit less superior in the matchups. I think they did a good job with kind of bringing down the ceiling on this because this matchup is like tolerable now. We also got to see Witchcrafter. Now this deck is honestly, I think, one of the scary ones in the room. Now they get to play the world's greatest thief to board break. We have Shifter built into the main deck. That's disgusting. As we have access to Borreload Savage Dragon, which shouldn't be a problem. This deck also gets access to Secret Village to lock down the opponent. We have Gordian Slicers to break through the Unbreakable. Red Reboots to push through trap cards. And, like, this is just not a fun experience to play against. And also, when this deck goes, its advantage is just straight up disgusting. I'm not an expert, so I can't really tell you all the combo lines, but I played against this a couple times, and a very good Witchcrafter player is absolutely amazing to see. With that being said, though, the OCG is definitely an interesting spot right now, so please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.